All right. So I just wanted to make a little video to show you this DC Electronics Quintessence harmonizer I got. Pretty cool pedal. If you've used harmonizers before, you probably know how they work. They essentially take whatever note you're playing, and they will, depending on what intervals you've chosen and what key you've chosen, and on this one you can choose the scale, they will harmonize your notes however you want them to. So I'm not going to get too in depth with it. I just want to show you guys some of the basic functionality of it, because I've had a couple of friends that have asked me, to just kind of make a little bit of a video playing around with it, so that's what this is. I'm going to show you the basically like a few different ways that I actually personally use it. Like I said, won't go into super depth, but so for my guitar, I'm using this Epiphone Dot with Gretsch Blacktop Filtertrons in it. I'm going to start with a clean tone and just kind of, mess around with it, and then I'll show you some of the distorted stuff. I'm going to go into the basic function of the pedal, as well as this mash function. You can see that lights up as you push on the switch. It does some pretty cool stuff. So here we go. I've got it set to basic major scale, and I've got it set to harmonize in the key of G, 1/3 above the fundamental note. So this is the mix. I'm not going to really play with that. It's pretty simple. It just balances the dry and the and the harmonized signal. So bridge pickup. So that's pretty cool. It sounds really cool with overdrive. So you can hear it works pretty well, and I really like it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's 1/3 above. Let's try 1/3 and 1/5 above. Now, this being in the key of G, this is kind of what I would use for, I would set it in, major, set it for a G scale, and play like an E minor, for instance. This mode is my favorite. The major scale with a third, a fifth above, because you get these kind of like, you get these kind of Queen sort of, almost Brian May-esque type stuff, although certainly not as complex as he would do it, but so I think that's pretty cool. But here's where it gets super cool, in my opinion, this mash button. If you play keyboard or a synthesizer, you're probably familiar with the aftertouch function, which is where you press the key down, but then it has, you know, it has a pressure sensitivity that goes even farther past that, I should say. And you can make it do certain things. And they call that aftertouch. On this is kind of the same concept. The pedal's on, but now if I want to turn it off, I can just step on it and release it. But if I want to turn it on, and then I can use this mash, you can see the harder I press, the more that yellow light lights up. Here's what it does. Whatever key you're in, or whatever, it will bend the notes to match it'll bend the notes in intervals that match with the key that you're playing in. So, you know, third and fifth above in G. So that's pretty awesome, and I do actually use that fairly often. Sounds really cool with like a delay. And you can probably hear the notes, the notes being bent. You know, it depends on how fast or slow you push the switch. So I can do super quick, or I can do super slow. So yeah. And then there's also, you know, different modes. I'll show you. I can go to Dorian. Let's go to D. Or E. Let's do E Dorian. So, if you want to play, like, you know, in something that's intended to be a minor scale, that would be where you would use Dorian and select E rather than select the major scale and go to G if you want to play an E minor. This is just it's already Dorian, so you just select E Dorian. That's already a minor. So I think that's pretty dang cool. Go back to G major. Whoops. That was A. So that's some of the stuff you can do with this thing. And I think it's pretty awesome. So, anyway. If you like that kind of stuff, go get one. Play around with it. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, that's it. Cheers.